This is Hot Horology, built on trust, transparency, and real access. But more than that, this is where stories behind the watches get told. Because collecting isn't just about what you wear, it's about what it represents. And this is Hot Seat with Justin, episode 2. All right, welcome back to Hot Seat. Today, we're taking a different approach. I've got Mark Miller, also known as @KingPo_1, over 12,000 followers on Instagram. But what stood out to me isn't just the watches, it's the way he moves, the way he sees collecting. His connection to watches goes all the way back to childhood. And like a lot of us, it started simple. But what it turned into, that's where it gets interesting. He's been through the phases, the big names, the evolution, the refinement. But at some point, the question became deeper than just collecting. And that shift, that's what I want to get into today. Because for some people, watches are just watches. For others, it's something much bigger. Mark, welcome to the Hot Seat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
That's so. Number one, this is very special to me. This is our second podcast for Hot Seat, and when I was first thinking about doing this podcast, you and I had messaged each other back and forth on Instagram. I really love what you're doing. You showcase a lot of different watches, not just hype watches. You've got a lot of cool pieces in your collection. You also do, a lot of travel vlogs as well. Mm-hmm. But when we were talking, the main thing that caught my attention was your first ever love for watches dating back to your childhood.
Yep.
And what makes it special to me is that is the first watch that I fell in love with as well.
Mm-hmm.
And tell the people about what that watch was and maybe a little bit about your background as well.
Yeah, so it was a Casio, more specifically, a Casio calculator.
Oh.
So this is where it started, 80s baby.
Okay.
So back in the days, that's when before Walmart, there was Kmart.
Mm-hmm.
So for a lot of people, person that know me, I am Jamaican. So at the time, I was in primary school. It's probably second grade or whatnot. So the reason why this watch kind of stood out to me was so when I was in primary school, they had competition as far as like race competition when it came to math and all this stuff.
Sure.
So there was this one Asian kid I couldn't beat.
Yeah.
I could not beat him for
race?
In a foot race. So the thing is, it was for every, call it every meter or whatever it is, you had to solve a problem.
Okay.
Then you run to the next one.
I see.
So I was called the second smartest kid in math in school.
Okay.
And I just couldn't beat this kid. I was faster than him, but he was just faster at the solving the equation.
I see.
So I was like, you know what, this is not right. So it's been bothering me. So every year we had a competition in school. So I remember when I came up to Miami, my mom was working in Miami as a nurse, and we were going to Walmart, and I saw the watch. Not Walmart, Kmart, I'm sorry. And I saw the watch in Kmart, and I said, well, what is that? Because there's a bunch of buttons on it.
Yeah.
So I asked the lady behind the counter, I was like, man, what is that? She said it was a calculator watch. I said, hold on a second. A calculator watch? I told my mom, we're not leaving here.
Yeah.
Until that thing is in the bag. So she ended up getting it. I was so excited. I was playing with it all night long. But, kind of a backstory to that, the reason why that kind of intrigued me towards the watches, but just in general, I just like how things are made, like what moves it on the background, right? So I got that watch, and that's when I first saw it, and I fell in love with watches after that. And that's where it kind of went down the rabbit hole. At that young age, I was maybe 8, 9 at the time. So at that young age, I've kind of fell into, how does this thing tick? Like, how does it, it's not a big calculator, it's in a watch. Like, who invented this? How did this happen? So that's kind of where, for me at that time, went down the rabbit hole of what kind of intrigued things, and not necessarily mechanical things. I wasn't that, versed on that things yet, but, on the watch side of things.
Yeah.
Who actually created this? Like, how did it happen? Who put the circuit board together? Who did this? Who did that? So that's kind of where it all started from.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it, man. I mean, obviously I didn't have that same, racing story as you did, but that watch, it was very popular back in the 90s.
Right.
And I remember some of my classmates had it. And I just remember just lusting over that watch. I would ask my mom, "Oh, please buy me this watch."
Right.
Which she never did.
Uh-huh.
But that is, from what I can remember, my first initial love for watches. But over time, there was different trendy watches out there.
Right.
The Movados, the Michael Kors, and these are watches, Fossil, the more affordable watches. And just as I got older, I had a job and I was able to save up my money. And obviously I started getting fashion watches. I never even knew that there was luxury watches.
Right.
I knew Rolex, and I thought, Rolex is just a crazy expensive watch. But then when I started working in the industry, it just blew my mind. You can buy watches for millions of dollars, the different movements, all the parts, and that stuff really piqued my interest and immersed me into this watch world. So you purchased that watch.
Yep.
From there, where did this journey take you?
Yeah, so again, back in the 80s, late 80s, so to speak, right? So I wore that watch until the buttons fell off. I mean, I don't know if anybody in that time frame had that experience. I mean, I actually use it as a tool watch, what it's meant for.
Sure. Okay.
So use it up to that, and after that, moving to Miami, mid 90s, going to middle school. So always, for me, it kind of transitioned now. Okay, now I'm getting older. I got to look good for the girls and this and that. So for me, a watch kind of complemented with a belt and the shoes that you're wearing, right? Yep. So I've always kind of aligned it with presentation and this and that, right? So kind of saying what you're saying, Rolex for me was so out of bounds for me, price wise. Yeah. So the Fossils, the this and that, I kind of gravitated at because I always loved that leather watch.
Okay.
And a good, still looking watch or whatnot. So that's why I was kind of gravitated towards Fossil at the time. So ever since then, from the mid 90s up to the early 2000s while I was in college, shout out to University of Miami. So that was my time frame.
Okay.
But kind of the evolution of it, and again, at that time, early 2000s, YouTube was barely there. It was new.
Yeah.
So, for me, going down the rabbit hole. So this is where the rabbit hole started. When I started my business, I actually started getting a little additional income and stuff like that. I kind of went back into the watch thing. My brother actually told me, he's like, hey, by the way, there's a lot more options out there. I didn't know. So this is where the rabbit hole started.
Yeah.
The 2019, 2020 rabbit hole. Teddy Baldessio, Nico, these guys. And I just went down the rabbit hole. I mean, I think I was for almost a month every day just watching YouTube content on videos and the micro brands, the independents and this and that. I did not know. And I was like, there's so many options. I didn't even tap into vintage.
Oh wow. Yeah,
that's just a new stuff.
Yeah, that's a whole other
ball game. And I was like, my mind was just going in so many circles because I didn't have to, I wouldn't say succumb, but I didn't have to limit my options to over here because there's so many options over here. So that's kind of where it opened up my collecting repertoire, so to speak. So yeah, I mean, that's where at a high level, my journey was.
Okay. Now, so I touched on your Instagram briefly in the intro.
Yep.
No, you have a lot of really cool content. How long have you been doing that for? And is that just like a passion of yours? You like to travel, take photos, or was this something that you created to showcase all of that? Like, what is your origin story of your Instagram handle?
Yeah, so it started with travel. So for me, it was more or less like I just like new information, like learning new things, right?
Sure.
Meeting people, learning language. I mean, I'm bilingual. I speak Spanish.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and
You lived in Miami. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So the thing is, when I went on my first trip, actually boys trip.
Fun.
Went on the first boys trip out of town, I just got so excited about learning new things, learning new culture and this and that. So it kind of went into the whole evolution of travel blogging or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
So I went into places off the beaten path, right? So to kind of tell people, hey, you don't have to go to this Caribbean island. There's something else over here, right? So a lot of people don't even know. God, I forgot what country it is off the Caribbean, but it's a South America country, and there's an island off of it that Jamaicans live there, and they speak Spanish.
Oh, okay.
But because it's a fisherman island, they just went there to go fish and start up their fishing business. But they loved it so much they just stayed.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't understand, when you travel so much, there's so many
Very
interconnecting of cultures that people don't. I'm gonna give you a good example.
Yeah.
I hope I don't get blasted for this, but reggae music actually got inspired by a Japanese woman.
Really?
Exactly. Exactly.
No way.
Exactly.
I'm interested I'm interested now
Ska,
because
it was a Jamaican guy that saw her making ska music and he took it and ran with it.
really, that's very interesting.
How cultures interact. A lot of people don't know. So that's what kind of intrigued me. And that's where the whole evolution of the traveling and letting people know it's not just here, again, hype.
Yes.
There's other beaten paths you can look at, right? So that's where it is. And after that, when I started watch collecting, I'll probably say heavy watch collecting, 6-7 years ago, then I intertwined both, because I said, you know what? Not only with going to different cultures, not everything is Swiss, right? Going to Japan, the Seikos, Grand Seikos, the Citizens, this and that. German movement, French movement. There's so many things out there, right? So that's one of the main things, in meeting different people from different cultures, what they're doing, and that's how we learn.
Yeah.
Somebody else is doing something different that we didn't think about.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so what was your first big boy watch, so to speak?
Oof, big boy. You know what? Oddly enough, the go-to thing is saying Rolex, but it wasn't. It's my Seamaster.
Okay, very
It's
nice.
my Seamaster, and I got it, and to this day I love that thing so much. The bracelet is so smooth, and it's super accurate, and that was my first luxury piece to say, you know what, I've done it. I've swiped a credit card.
Dude, it's a special moment.
It's a special moment.
That's a very special
There's
moment.
no turning back.
That too. But the moment when you've worked,
Mhm.
you've built yourself up,
Right.
and you're able to reward yourself, and you're able to spend $10,000-$15,000 on a watch,
Right.
for the first time. That's very special.
And oddly enough, you know what's insane about that? So I was actually in Japan for, I think it was March 1st of this year, for the marathon, Tokyo Marathon. And there's sometimes stuff hits you, in your life when you just don't realize. You just God, put you in perspective. So I was looking at, there's it's not Foot Locker, but there's a shoe store at the airport. If anybody knows the Tokyo airport. So I was there and I was looking at some Jordans, not the main brand Jordan, but just regular Jordans for like $80. I was like, God, I've been spending so much money. All I do is spend money on watches.
Yeah.
I've been spending so much money on watches, not to think about when I was smaller, for me to spend like $100 on Jordans was like out of bounds.
Yes. Yes.
So it kind of put things in perspective. So it was kind of a cool moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
So you brought a few watches with
Yeah.
you.
Which one here would you say is your most meaningful watch?
I'll probably say, I'll put it in twofold, right? Most meaningful and most special. Two different buckets.
Sure. Okay.
Most meaningful is the G Steel.
This one here.
The G Steel. Yep.
What is that?
So the G Steel, this one is the one I got my son. He's 13. I got him into watch collecting. He's not into watches at the time, and I wore this to different places because I'm, again, I like to travel, and of course, as a world time function and all that stuff is very easy to use. Mm. So I really wanted to push my son into watch collecting, and also the reason I want to push him into watch collecting is because this stuff is going to hand down to him. I'm not selling anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So
you've never sold a watch?
Absolutely not.
Never?
Never. So reverse process. So anything that goes in my collection, I really think heavy about it.
I see. Okay. I can see.
Yeah.
That. Okay.
So this one, we're going out to dinner, a sushi spot. It was just a father-son night. And I was like, try this on, because I gave him a cologne and he tried it on and he did this. Oh, got him.
So, starting to be young.
Starting to be young. So this one, it's here, but this is really my son's watch. I gave it to him.
Yeah, that's
so this one means a lot. So and also I wanted him to get into collecting because when I pass this down to him and after his kids, my grandkids and all that stuff, is that they know the collection that I have here, take good care of it. Yeah, take good care of it. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this one here, is it, is this one of the pieces that like connects to satellite?
Absolutely.
As soon as you get off the plane,
yep.
it'll adjust itself.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's awesome, man. G-Shock that's another one of those brands that I loved growing up, right? It was more accessible for me. But it's also, it was a sporty watch. It was definitely my style. Mm. And it's something that you can wear every single day.
Absolutely. And the thing is about that, it's not classified as a diver.
Okay.
I did take it to Egypt. God, I forgot the name of the dive town I went to, but I took it pretty deep and nothing happened.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I think it's classified as what? 20 bars or something.
This one is, 20 bar.
Yeah.
Wow.
So nothing happened. It works perfect. So, and I mean, it's a beautiful watch for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's definitely good to know.
Yeah.
That it'll withstand. It'll withstand those depths.
Absolutely.
Now, let's just keep on G-Shock for a little bit. Now, this is the only one you've ever purchased. I mean, it's for your son, but
yeah, that's it. That's the only one I have. I've got Casios, but as far as G-Shock, that is the one.
I see. No, yeah, no, very, very nice. I've seen that they make them in like gold. I've seen one in like solid gold.
Yes. Too flashy for me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, personally, I don't know if I would ever buy a solid gold G-Shock, but I mean, it's definitely a good look. Mm-hmm. If you like this style and want to do something a little bit flashier, I think it's a cool concept at least.
Absolutely.
Okay, so from there,
yes.
Let's talk about these. Now,
yes.
I've noticed the colors are very similar.
Yes.
Are most of your watches like have similar color straps?
So here's the thing. For me, I take straps very seriously when it comes to the coordination of watches, right? So like, for me, a strap is like putting on a belt. It's gotta match right.
Sure.
With your set, right? So, not to get too deep into it, but the reason why I kind of like green straps instead of brown straps or anything like that is because with my skin tone, it kind of disappears.
Okay.
And I want the whole watch to pop. Right. So so with this, actually met Fred Savage with this down in Palm Beach when he was doing this thing. Oh. And he even said, he was like, well, where'd you get that strap from? I believe I don't remember, I think it was D-Lugs or anything like that, but it's lizard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's lizard leather, yeah. So it goes good with that IWC. That's actually from the late 60s, early 70s. Shout out to Fire Kids in Tokyo. I got that from Tokyo.
It's everything looks all original on it too.
It is, yeah.
I mean, the patina is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is very, very beautiful piece. It looks good in combination with the green.
Yeah. It's a gold and green, yeah. So I kind of try to figure out between, for me, when it comes to gold, green or red kind of goes.
Okay.
And the thing is, I don't want too much red into my collection. So I do have a Casio World Timer in gold, but that's on red. I didn't want to bring that today because I'm actually going to take that to Watches and Wonders.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm so jealous that you're going. I have a few friends that are going this year, and I'm just like, why didn't anyone tell me that you guys are going? You know, I feel like I'm the only one that's being left out.
Right.
I really wanted to go, but at the end it felt rushed. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go next year. So next year we're going.
Absolutely, and it's a good thing you did because when I looked at the hotels, everything's booked out.
Oh, is it?
Okay. You gotta stay in France or something.
Now, let's stick on this one really quick. Is this one? That's not solid gold, right?
It is.
It is solid gold.
It is. Wow. It is solid gold.
Okay. Okay.
It is. It's an IWC. Yeah, IWC. Late 60s, early 70s.
Late 60s.
I forgot the movement reference, but you can see there. It says instead of IWC, it says I'm not even gonna pronounce it.
Schaffhaus.
Schaffhaus.
Now, okay, so you bought it in Japan.
Yep.
You do a lot of traveling. Yep. Where's a cool place that you've worn that watch traveling?
God, cool place. You know, because it's not a world timer function, I haven't really traveled too much with it.
Okay.
So it's more local stuff, right? So again, reference to the Watches and Wonders. That's what I'm going to actually wear to Watches and Wonders this year. But yeah, as far as cool places, I haven't worn that, not just yet. But my other ones definitely have been all over the place.
Okay.
Because I actually use it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
You know,
I like that. You know, some collectors that I know will buy watches. And this is like the biggest pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
They buy them and then they put them in like a safety deposit box and like never wear them, never use it for what it's intended for.
Right.
And, you know, they're just like, oh yeah, I've got this watch, I've got that watch, I've got this one. And I'll be like, oh, why don't you ever wear it? Oh, it's in the safety deposit box.
Right.
I'm like, you know, like what's the point? What's the point of that? No, very cool. So let's go into the Grand Seiko next. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, so Grand Seiko, so this was, I actually bought this in the Mall of Millennium. So shout out to Peyton out there. So bought that there. For your true collection, you know, it comes on a brown strap. So I switched out to a green strap. But this one, when I first saw it, because I do like sport watches, but not as much. So I love dress watches, right? So for me, a world time function and it's a dress watch is understated. I just fell in love with it immediately, right? So here's a crazy story about this. So I actually took this to the actual factory in Japan up north, the Grand Seiko factory workshop up there. And when they told me more of the details of what behind it, so if you know, of course, the exhibition case back, they're telling me, yeah, all these details that are in there, Mark, it's all handmade, right? So, and what's also cool about it is that I couldn't meet them because they were working. Sure. But I saw the people working on the line that actually made that specific watch. Yeah.
Wow. And this one specifically?
Specific watch.
That's cool.
And the guy, he's like, hey, you see that lady over there? He was like, well, you know, the barrel and everything else might be a mix of this line, but that lady right there, she's the only hand lady. She put that on your watch. I was like, you're kidding me. So I asked him, trying to get insider information. I was like, well, how many, since this line here, how many do you guys produce a year? He's like, I can't tell you that. Sure. That's inside information.
Yeah. Okay.
But I actually saw the team, met the team out there. So it's pretty cool. But the details behind that watch, I love it so much, right? So it's very classy for me. And this is one of those watches I purchased for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of going to the hype phase, bought this beyond the hype phase.
Absolutely.
This is my watch. I love it. I love the details behind it. And for anybody that's a watch collector, I'm pretty sure you go through this. There's certain new details you find about your watch later on after you purchase it. You say, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, you said you visited the factory.
Yeah.
Were you invited by the brand, or is that something that they offer? If you're just traveling there, you can stop by?
Yeah, they offer it. So you have to do an appointment ahead of time. Okay. But it does get booked out like 3 to 4 months ahead of time. Okay. So yeah, once you put an appointment online, you can go out there. Pretty straightforward. I mean, logistic wise, the JR line from Tokyo station 2.5 hours up north. Didn't stay there because you didn't need to, but it's a small town.
Okay.
But yeah, for anybody who wants to do it, it's a very simple process.
Okay. Okay. What was when you visited the factory?
Mm-hmm.
That's something else that I've never been able to do.
Yeah.
I've been promised so many times. I was supposed to go to Switzerland
Okay.
on the Rolex trip.
Okay.
Pre-COVID. I was scheduled up next to go, and then COVID happened. So I've never been to Switzerland.
Mhm.
So that's why I've been dying to go to Watches and Wonders. But when you visited the factory, was there anything that surprised you? Is there something that blew your mind? You're like, oh wow, this is why I'm buying this watch because of XYZ.
For buying it, this occurred after I went through the rabbit hole and then learning about watches and this and that. So I bought this with a vast amount of information over it, right? But what impressed me on the trip was, and again, being a watcher myself, the guy was going through it and he said, this is the official. I was looking at it, the official first watch from Seiko. And I was like, this is the watch, there's no way. And he said, yeah, this is it. This is back from the 1800s. And I told him offline, I said, well, I mean, if you guys are going to sell it, it's got to be in the business. He's like, yeah, it's. He's like, it would never leave here, but if it did, it would be in the Opti millions.
Wow.
Yeah. So that really shocked me, that just looking at history right there. And again, knowing my background of understanding how people back in the 1800s put metal together to make these pieces, that's kind of really floored me. So
that's an awesome thing. I've sold Grand Seiko.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have tons of knowledge in it, but from what I understand, Grand Seiko is becoming very similar to the Rolex of Japan in terms of they create everything in house.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's some things that I'm missing, or maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but for the majority of the watch, they make everything in house.
Right.
Now that is all that's true to your knowledge.
Yeah, I mean it's vertical integration, right? So they've got it there, and again, not to delve into much of their business strategy or anything like that, but they control all of it, right? So, but that's kind of the cool part, right? Because for some of these independent watchmakers, they had to say, okay, we still do stuff by hand, and their prices are through the roof. It's because you got to pay, right? They got to make money. So for Grand Seiko to offer their price point and make things by hand is because they have the vertical integration.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, very, very cool.
So those details, the jewels, I mean, it's all there. And then again, I can, not to harp on it too much, I could wear this in big cities.
Yeah.
LA, New York.
Yeah.
God forbid, London.
Yeah.
Nobody will know.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's definitely a little more low key, but
Right.
it's one of those if you know, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've been staring at this the entire time.
Yeah.
Please tell me about this watch.
Yeah. So Herbalife, this one's a very special. So this is officially a one of one. So again, I travel to different places, and going back to my travels. So trying to find places for people to kind of visit and relax and this and that, different beaches and whatnot. So now I'm traveling to go to different events. So this was an event I went to in Prague. It was a micro event. I forgot the name of it. But it's typically in November, the event. And so it's all micro brands. I met some German watchmakers there and this and that. But this French brand, just walking around, right? Mm-hmm. Talking to people and this and that. Nobody knows me out that. And that's what kind of makes it more special, because when I met these folks at their booth, very open. And, how are you doing? Where are you from? This and that. And immediate connection, right? And so I was talking to the guy. I was like, yeah, they look nice, but there's something there's something missing. He's like, well, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah, there's something missing. And he said to me, well, what do you want? I said, wait a second. Are you sure? And he said, yeah, what do you want? I was like, well, I would like to have this type of dial color on here and there and put this over here. While I'm saying that, this man is texting his watchmaker.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool.
And a couple minutes later, he looked at me. He's like, "We can do it." I was like, "You're kidding me." He's like, "Yeah, we can do it." And he was like, "How do you want it?" I was like, "If you're doing this for me, one of one, I will fly to Paris and go get it."
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's the story behind this. Shout out to Herberlin family. I believe it's still family owned. Believe it started by their dad in 1947. I think it is. You know, don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But it is truly independent, family owned, amazing family. And so it's you know, I believe it is 367 steel, very well made, Salida movement, very accurate. I think it's model plus or minus 5 seconds a day or whatnot, but for the price point, you're getting a lot of watch. So took this to my watch group, down to shout out to Orlando Watch Group and Red Orlando. When I showed this to them, they're just like, "There's no way," because it's French.
Yeah,
nobody knows. And so it's so what's cool about this is that because it's one-on-one, it's an automatic move, and normally they'll say automatique in French, but it's not there because it's a one-of-one.
Okay.
And funny story is that when I went to go pick this up, because the owner didn't tell his staff at the store what happened, when I showed up, there was no SKU number.
Oh.
So the guy was just like, "What price do I give you?" I was like, "I don't know, talk to your boss."
Yeah.
Right?
Is it engraved one of one on the back or anything?
No, it's not. But I mean, I'm sure I could send it to him to do those things. The family's really cool about it. But that is the one of one, only made for me on really special watch. And
Yeah, that is very special. But like that dial color, man, that's like
that's what I told him.
like it reminds me of the wine that we're drinking, man.
Yeah.
Like it's beautiful, and then different shades.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of gives me that like a Patek.
Yes, it's mixed
feel
between
to it.
Cartier, kind of Avid, K shape, and
But no, man, it. All right, can you tell me how much this was, if you don't mind me telling?
In US, it was like $1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah. And you're getting a lot of watch for $1,000.
Yeah. Because remember, I was telling you, I've been staring at this watch.
Yeah.
I personally never heard of it, but in my mind, I was like, that's got to be an expensive watch. I was thinking like at least like $4,000 or $5,000. But you know that's really cool. The quality of it, the way it feels. I mean, it looks like a very, very cool watch.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's you know, good shout out to the family out there. Very humble family. You know, they do the right thing. They say what they mean. You know what they're gonna do. So that's why, you know, I always support that.
This brand holds a soft spot in my heart. When it comes to Tudor, I remember when they were first talking about bringing Tudor back to the US.
Sure.
And, you know, I had never heard of Tudor, but you know, I'd read about it. I hadn't seen many in person, but just reading about it and the history and its connection to Rolex, I thought it was very cool to me, right? And to make a long story short, I've always loved Tudor, and they opened the first Tudor boutique in 2021 in New York City.
Okay.
And a few months later, I was offered to open the second Tudor boutique in the US, which was Tudor Orlando. And, you know, since then, you know, I just working in the world of Tudor, I really respect what they're doing. They're staying true to their heritage, but also keeping that same mentality that Rolex has, like incremental improvements, you know, making, you know, staying true to their heritage and their styles, but making the watches better year after year. You know? This was one that I absolutely loved because, you know, the 41 GMT was always a little too big for my wrist.
Dream.
And when they released this, you know, Master Chronometer has that faux vintage Coke bezel. I fell in love with it. And so tell me a little bit why you picked this watch.
Yeah, so it's I'd probably say the only watch in my collection that I would say it was love at first sight in a picture.
Okay.
because normally I would have to go try it on, feel it. Because for me, the bracelet, the strap or whatever, it's kind of like when you're buying a new car. You have, it's a BMW, it's a Porsche, whatever. You got to feel it. If it doesn't feel right, I don't want it. This was the one, when I saw the picture, I said, I don't care. I need to have it. So I went down there, shout out to Johnny and crew down there in the Mall of Millennia.
It's my old crew. Johnny, what up?
Took really good care of me, and I put it in. They said, it was a high demand piece, 6 months, whatnot. And when I put it on, I was just like, it's exactly how I saw in the picture, and I was like, this is it for me. So yeah, this is my first watch. It's kind of like my first true girlfriend, so to speak.
Okay.
So first love at first sight, and to this day, I just can't, because there's so many details in it. A lot of people don't know. I mean, just looking how the markers are in there, and sometimes I catch myself and for any true watch collector out there, you can just catch yourself sometimes just staring at it, looking at the details. So for me, that's what I love so much. And I actually, because I do have the Burgundy, the dive watch, the 58. So I always trying to toy between, do I get in a bracelet? Definitely not a Jubilee for this. Do I get a bracelet? Do I stay on rubber? But on the rubber, there's something about it. I just can't. I just love it so much, and it's so functional. So for me, it's low key, it's functional. You got to know what you know with these watches. And I just love it so much, and it's accurate.
Oh yeah.
So love this watch so much, and this is my true first love.
Why did you pick the rubber strap?
Really?
And how's the comfort when it comes to the rubber strap?
It's amazing, right? So it feels good. So like even hot days, so if it's cold in the morning and it gets hot at night, you're wearing it and it's your daily. Most times you don't have to adjust it. It's rubber. It just fits with your hand. So I love it. It's low key. And the thing is, I use this to travel a lot. So again, when I go to London, these big cities, I travel with it and nobody knows what it is, which to me is perfect.
Yeah.
So it's very low key. It's understated. And only true watch collector, even though I don't wear it for other people, but I feel safe around it. It's amazing. And one of my biggest gripe with, I think it's dying down, but when people say this is like the little brother of Rolex or the poor man's Rolex,
Coke.
Put that to bed.
Yeah.
The accuracy on this thing, the kinesis movement that's in there, for anybody who's on the verge of buying a Tudor and trying to, figure out, okay, the 4K, 5K range, it's worth every penny. They're batting above their average. I might even go far as to say they're, as far as pound for pound when it comes to dollar for dollar, Tudor bats a higher value than Rolex.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want to go that route, but anyways, it's for me, it's one of my prize collections. Yeah. When I first saw it, I was like, I have this. I have to have. When you first see that girl, you're just like, I'm not leaving here until I get her number.
Yes.
This was it, and it was on the picture, right? So, yeah.
You mentioned London, and I know you travel a lot.
Yeah.
Do you go to London often?
I do. There's different events out there, business meetings. I go out there, so very cognizant of when I travel. As a matter of fact, when I went with a G-Shock and I took the tube, there's people are even looking at my G-Shock. I was like, I didn't feel because it's shiny.
Yeah, because I've heard so much about London and these gangs who essentially target watches and jewelry.
Yeah.
Is it really that sketchy when you're there? Like, do you I don't know, do you see, can you see these people? Are you like on high alert all the time? Like what's going on? Like what's the vibe when you go to London?
So the vibe's normal, right? You just got to be aware of your surroundings. I think at one point in time it was cell phone stealing, right? So they're taking cell phones. And to my knowledge, because I got tons of friends out there, to my knowledge, it's not really locals. It's outside people from different countries that were coming in town and doing that, right? So definitely be mindful. The one thing I will not do is wear a nice piece, whatever, Patek, if somebody has that, rose gold Patek or whatever. Don't go to Mayfair, these places to go to dinner, because that's where you get singled out. But So
dinner specifically.
yeah, they'll watch you and this and that, right? So, I've got other collections out and this I could wear it out there. And I got a Frederic Constant World Timer, green bezel, green dial. So I wear that, feels nice, nobody knows. But yeah, those big C's just gotta be cognizant of your surroundings, because they're watching.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully this tip will help people.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, just being in the industry, you hear these stories all the time.
Yep.
And this is what's most prevalent when it comes to, because he mentioned dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're traveling, what happens is, this is very unfortunate.
Yep.
You go to these fancy restaurants, obviously you think you're in a nice spot, so you're comfortable wearing your watches. But what's happening behind the scenes is the waiters or the waitresses, whoever it is that's working at the restaurant, what they'll do is they'll peep the watch that you're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
They'll phone a friend and they'll say, hey, this guy at my table was wearing a Patek, Rolex. And then when you leave the establishment is when they get you.
Yep.
So, just always, be on alert, when it comes to places like London. I mean, I've never been, so I don't know, but if I was to travel there, I probably wouldn't even wear a watch just because I'd be so sketched out, But yeah, that's what they're doing. So hopefully, just be aware of that if you guys are traveling. And it's not just London, it's other countries too that are using the same tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Very unfortunate.
With some of these watches going to these big cities, you just got to be careful, right? So, but going back to as far as like the whole watch collecting and why it's so important, people spend money for what it is, right? So, like for me, I don't buy fancy cars or anything like that. For me, this is it for me, right? So, kind of on top of why I love watches so much, of why I purchase high-end, well, I wouldn't say high-end watches, but just well-made watches, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the people that should be in the community, right? And after that, not only just the community of collectors, but the actual micro brands, independents, right? They're just like, we're small business, just like us, right? So, they go through the same pain points and all that stuff. And that's why, with the Herbermann line, we talked about that. How can I help your business? I'm a small business owner. Whatever I need, I'll support you, because good people always support good people, right? So, that's also kind of why I went into collecting. And the other piece of it is, with these quote unquote heirlooms, how can I leave something back, right? So on top of that, what I kind of added with how can I leave something back is how can I inspire generations of mine when I'm not here? Because someday you're not going to be here.
Sure.
I'm not Jesus. I'm going to be gone at some point in time.
You ain't coming back.
Right. So, and just one of those things, right? So I actually journal each one of my watches. So I never sell my watches.
Okay.
And I'm very cognizant of what watch comes into my collection. So I journal everything. I met this so-and-so, this person, the Herbal line, wrote that down. I went to this country. I did this. I ate this food here in Egypt.
Really?
Yeah, I did that, and I journal everything of the watch that I wore, because one of those things where, before I get into why I want to motivate generations of mine while I'm gone, but wouldn't it be cool, like if you knew, let's say, you have like a super cool great grandma that actually wrote down, and you saw her journey, just like God, and she inspired you to do more.
Yeah, no, that's special.
That's why I journal, right? So like, I just can't imagine one day my great grandchild just sees it and just like, man, my grandfather's a badass.
I love that. I've met so many collectors over the years.
Yeah.
I think you're the first collector that I've ever met that journals the wearing of their watches, the traveling. I think that's very special, and I think that your bloodline down the road. When they get passed down, I think they'll really appreciate that too. So that's very special.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those things, just thinking about it, right? So it's just, how can you, like even, I don't know if you have kids or anything, but how can I
have one?
You have one? So how can I really instill in my child to do good and this and that. So that's one of the things I thought about, because I even thought about it if I have the house and I put a statue, Mark the Great or whatever. I was like, that's not that belong.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. No,
Yeah. So yeah.
So I brought a few pieces.
Okay.
I think a lot of people know this already.
Yep.
I mean, I've been in business for 6 months now. I had a much bigger collection, but I dwindled it down.
Okay.
To fund the business, right? So I got rid of some Rolexes, Tudors, really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few that I will never get rid of, kind of like you. So this one's funny. This isn't an expensive watch.
Mm-hmm.
I have a weird sense of humor.
Okay.
And I remember when the hype, when they released the moon swatches, the crazy hype that was around it. And they had just opened up the new Swatch boutique in Millennia.
Okay.
And, so there's different planets, and I'm a little immature. But this is a cool watch. Like if I'm traveling, this I can wear. I don't really care.
Right.
But I specifically bought this for the name, which is the mission to Uranus. So I think that's so funny and immature, but I literally just bought it just for the name, right? But I've come to love it, man. It's a watch that I can wear and not have to worry about. The battery's dead. And I'm gonna bring it to Swatch to get it the battery changed, but I've grown to like it because it still has that brand heritage, right? Like that speed. It still feels like I'm wearing a Speedy.
Right.
The blue is nice. I do wear a lot of blues, and it's low key. That one now my son wears. So he's real. He's obviously seen my career,
right?
And so he's always loved watches. Mm-hmm. But what I love now is to show him, you could take risks. Mm-hmm. So he's seen me quit my job, which was a huge step, huge decision.
Yeah.
He's seen the growth so far. Mm-hmm. So he's always wearing this whenever he comes to film with me, or little things like that. It's just he's like proud of it, which I think is really special. Another one is another not super expensive watch, but it's a very special watch.
Okay.
So this is the Spinnaker 50 Phantoms that my wife gave me.
Wait, what?
Spinnaker 50 Phantoms.
Oh, wow.
That my wife gave me. She gave it to me for our 10th anniversary. Now, what makes it special? So the Spinnaker, I want to say they started doing it in 2023, where they do these special editions for Halloween.
Okay.
So I think 2023 was the first year, but 2024 was our 10-year anniversary. We met in 2014.
Okay.
But our first date was on Halloween.
Really?
Yes.
Who chose that one? You did?
That was the first opportunity that I was actually able to ask her out on a date. And I did, and we ended up going out that night.
Okay.
So, that was our first date, which was Halloween. And the 50 Phantoms, this one specifically, so you see like the ghosts on the dial. Yeah. So it's a nod to Halloween, which I thought was very special. If you look on the back, there's a bunch of other cool Easter eggs.
Oh, wow.
You got another ghost on the back. The rotor here looks like a blade, right? It's got some blood on it. I don't have a black light with me, but it's called a ghost. They also call it a ghost date.
Okay.
So on the dial itself, when you shine a black light, it shows a date. It's a date window, but it's only one date. So it's the 31st.
Kidding me?
Yeah.
So, wow.
I thought that was like really cool, really thoughtful. So a very special watch to me that one I'll never get rid of. But it's a fun watch, right? Like without having to chase the hype. It's not super expensive,
right?
But that process that she took to do the research. She knows I'm very passionate about watches. She found this, thought it was perfect, and she gifted it to me on my 10-year anniversary.
You know what? That's very special because she probably knew that I'm not. What can I give him that he doesn't already have?
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
So she's a keeper for sure.
Yes, for sure.
Nice.
It comes with a rubber strap.
Nice.
But you have to check this out under a black light.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. All the phantoms, they glow very bright.
Nice.
Pumpkin crown, again, another nod to Halloween.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
It's like shaped as a pumpkin.
Yeah. Nice.
Very cool.
And that's what I'm saying. We're collecting those details that you notice like later on. Just like, oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, exactly. And Halloween every year is a very, it's special holiday for us. So every year, we go all out, we buy costumes and stuff. And, one day I'll give that to my son, and it has the story of us, right? So I think that's very special.
It's not going anywhere.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
And then last one is the one that I'm wearing.
Okay. German.
Yes. Yes.
So nice.
I've talked about this, but I haven't really spoken on the story of this watch.
Okay.
This is the Saxonia Thin. These three watches, I'll never ever get rid of. Saxonia Thin. It's very thin, solid white gold. It's called a gold stone dial. The base is made of sterling silver, and then they apply it on top, which is like an Italian. From my understanding, it's like a glass.
Okay.
And they add copper in it, which gives it that effect that you're looking at, like the night sky.
Gotcha.
Manual wound, but this one was actually gifted to me.
Oh.
It was gifted to me by one of my dear friends. And then whenever you get a gift, like it's hard for me to sell a gift. Like I would never do that, right? Like same thing with the one that my wife gave me. But when I look at this watch every single time, I'm mesmerized, man. Like even though it's all blue, I'll wear that if I'm wearing something completely different, and I just enjoy it, and I can stare at it all day.
I'm gonna tell you something. We need the same friends, because if they're gifting you, there's no way I need your friends.
You know what? I need more friends like that. So if you want to be my friend and gift me watches, gift Mark watches, please hit that subscribe button and follow, comment.
Because I mean, wasn't this brand like close to being a Trinity? I mean, it might as well be.
In my opinion, I don't know about Trinity, but for me personally, it's top 5.
Okay.
While we're on that subject, what's your top 5?
Oof, top 5.
Starting at 5.
So starting at 5, God, that's tough. Threw me on the spot.
Hot seat. Let's go.
And again, this is not because of like hype or history or anything. Just what I like.
Okay.
I'll probably say number 5 is going to be Seiko.
Okay.
I love Seiko. Daily beater, gets the job done. Good price range. My SK5 actually at home, my GMT, which is, I love it so much because it's 4 time zones for the price range I have. So I love it. Number 3, you know what? That's tough. Number 3, I'd probably say, I'm sorry, 4. I'm jumping ahead. So 4, I'll say Rolex. Not vintage new Rolex. Mainly because of what it offers. Yeah, it's a high price range, but you get what you pay for. It's a tank, which it's well built. Number 3, G-Shock, no question about it. Casio. So the entire Casio family, the G-Shocks, the other Casios. Number 2, JLC. JLC is, I'll put it at number 1, but for now number 2, because it is my favorite watch brand.
It's the watchmaker's watchmaker.
Hands down, my favorite watch brand. I love their complications, their lines, their price range. Absolutely love it. And going back to Seiko, I mean everything Seiko, King Seiko, regular Seiko, Grand Seiko, Prospect, all that. Number 1, no question about it, Patek. And Patek is my grail.
Me too. Me too.
Calatrava, the 3410, which is probably like late 60s, early 70s.
Calatrava?
Yeah.
Really?
Not the hype stuff.
Okay. I mean, but that watch is a little more obtainable too, but it's a classic.
So here's the thing. It's obtainable, but the vintage that I want, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not. It's not.
Why is that?
Because I got to go find it in good condition.
Oh,
Right. So, you got your Asia good market, specifically Tokyo, Japan. You can find some options there, but specifically what I want is a 3410. So for me, a lot of people have the grail, attainable grail, non-attainable grail, grail changes. But for me, a grail is a grail. It's kind of like the final boss, right? So growing up in the 80s, like if you beat, let's say Mario World, you beat the game, you're just like, okay, what's next? There's no more collecting. I'm already reached the pinnacle, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I made it specifically that's attainable, but at the same time hard to get.
okay.
So the 3410, when I find it out there in the wild, it's kind of like hunting.
Yeah.
I gotta have it. And an honorable mention, that's not on the list, hands down, is Brigade.
Oh yeah, Brigade.
Brigade. So for me, Brigade, vintage Brigade. I'll probably say, again, late 60s, early 70s. There's a world timer. There's also a world timer, I think is also marine time in the mid 90s, newer vintage. But the 70s version, world time, is also my second grip.
Okay. Very nice.
They got it on Chrono 24. I'm not going to get it. I like to find my watches out there in the wild.
Okay.
It's a little more exciting.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So just a few more questions before we get out of here.
Mhm.
You mentioned Japan.
Yep.
Why is it
Like,
that a lot of people like to buy watches in Japan?
I again, I can't speak for a lot of people. For me specifically, I take care of the things at home. Because again, it's whatever positions I have, I just make sure it's taken care of, right? So that's one thing I like about the Japanese culture. They take care of their things.
Yes.
So whatever watch you find over there, 9 times out of 10 is going to be in good condition.
Good condition, full set.
I mean, it's immaculate, right? So, again, I found it's not here. It's at JLC right now, and I was, talking with you guys off camera, but I found a pre-JLC. It had to be 1930s, and the dial was so patina I couldn't read it. So, doing the thing that's like I should not do, I did it. I was like, yeah, you got please, I can't read it. So, but the thing is, those type of vintage watches or watches in general in Japan, they take care of their things. So for anybody that's going out there in Japan, if you want a vintage watch or something secondhand, you can't go wrong out there. And on top of that, you're not going to get a fake in Japan.
I've heard that too.
Oh,
so
you're
they're like strict on those laws when it comes to fakes and knockoffs.
Absolutely. You go to Hong Kong or China, I can't help you. But Japan,
Oh yeah, true.
but Japan,
Yeah.
hands down, you're going to get the real deal.
What about pricing? Is it price better there?
Yeah, I mean, for the Rolexes, they price the market. I think they adjusted daily. Even by the exchange rate. So for people that go out there and say they can, it's not have to be. But what you can get, you're going to get the right watch, right? So I'll probably say for the people who collect for investing, forget about that.
Yeah. Okay.
For people who are doing it in business to say, okay, maybe I can get a markdown to kind of resell it for whatever. Not the place to go get a factory in hotel, plane ticket, all that stuff, right? So, but for somebody who's going to collect and hold it in their possession for the end of time, the place to go.
Okay.
No question about it.
I love it. Oh, that's great information for people. All right, so before I go,
Yep.
I'll rattle off my top 5. I could, honorable mention. I'll start with JLC. You already mentioned them. They're in your top 5.
Yep.
JLC, obviously, they're known as the watchmaker's watchmaker. But one of the reasons why I love the brand is I've been able to handle from their base models to their heavy hitter pieces.
Okay.
Back in 2015, 2016, I met a client and his bank account ends in a B, so big money.
Right.
Back then, no one was really selling complicated watches like that. But within just a matter of like 6 months, we sold about $2.5 million worth of watches, almost $3 million. And I was able to handle and help cultivate this, the number one, or I don't know if he is today, but at the time he was the number one JLC watch collector in the US. Sphero tourbillons, gyro tourbillons, minute repeaters.
Oh God.
And the quality of these watches is just, it's like a work of art.
Yep.
Right. So they hold a very special spot in my heart. Number 5, I would say, is Rolex.
Okay.
Number 4 is Lange. Lange is one of my favorites. Number 3 is Audemars Piguet.
Okay.
Number 2 is FP Journe,
Okay.
which I absolutely love what he's been doing. And number 1 is Patek.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Patek. That's been my grail.
Yeah.
To be able to, to be able to go out and purchase any of them.
Yeah.
I think is very special.
Yep.
But obviously, I would love to have just a classic Nautilus 5711.
Yep.
I mean, it's just a beautiful piece. The finishing, I mean, you just hold it in your hands and it just feels like money,
And funny story on that. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
So I booked a showing in the one in Coral Gables in Miami.
Okay.
Amazing team, loved them. So went out there. So she pretty much the director on the floor. She showed me everything. She was like, and she was like, listen, it's not gonna be tomorrow. I was like, 5-6 years, I don't care.
Sure.
Let's make sure my name's on the line.
Yeah.
So she showed me everything, right? So she showed me so the Cubitus at the time that year the Cubitus came out. And she also showed me the 5711. But I remember the first time I actually put on a 5711, and what a lot of people don't like what you're saying in finishing. So for collectors, we know what that means, right? But for people who don't understand that, I mean, the thing felt like silk.
Oh yeah,
on my wrist. I was like, I get it. I get it.
I mean, like that's one of the gripes with like the Royal Oak.
Yeah.
The bracelet is sharp. I mean, it's finished nicely, right? Like the finishing they use, like the wire finishing, wire brush finishing. But the edges of the bracelet are a little sharp when you're wearing it.
Yeah.
But the Nautilus, man, it's silky smooth.
Yeah.
It's substantial.
Yeah.
It's thin. Sport watch, but it's dressy watch.
Right.
It checks all the boxes.
Right.
For me. But yeah, man. Hopefully one day I'll be able to build my collection through Patek directly.
Yeah.
And they can run me through the gauntlet. I'll start with some of their more ladies pieces. Calotropes, whatever. Yeah, exactly. To hopefully be able to obtain what I really want.
Yeah.
Mark, thank you so much, man, for joining me. It really means a lot. Where can people find you? I mean, obviously you can find him on the Hot Horology Discord server. You want to message him, he's there. But where can people find you?
Yeah, I mean, you can see my handle on Instagram, kingpo_1. You can message me anytime. If you have any questions or anything like that. Traveling watches, you reach me at any time. So don't want to give my exact location for safety.
Sure.
But I'm based out in Orlando, but I'm always all over the place. But typically, if you want to find me, I'm going to be usually at the main watch events, right? So definitely want to hit up Tide and Tide. I think they're opening a new flagship out there in New York City.
Okay.
Reach out to them. Definitely want to go back to Tokyo because Kyoei, one of my favorite brands, they opened a new flagship. God, I believe it's in Ginza. I don't remember.
Okay.
Want to go out there. So I'm always going to these different events, right? So worldwide events, Prague, doesn't matter. You can meet me there. So, but yeah, quick DM, kingpo_1. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is episode 2. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment down below, let me know what you think. But we're going to continue with this format where we talk to jewelers, dealers, watchmakers, enthusiasts, collectors, essentially the Hot Horology Network. And I hope to catch you on the next one. Peace.